So who am I really, this person? I have my biography up. I was Marilyn Monroe reincarnated for real, my past lifetime. And it's interesting when you see people walking because they all have fascinating archives, thousands of incarnations. So I was many leaders throughout history that I remember and I have written about on the Starlight State blog and in some of my movies, going all the way back to Inanna in history, and as well Hathor, and later Sky Goddess Newt, and many that I haven't even found all of them. Yeah, there's so many, and it's been so difficult with all the busyness, in these times to do the research and the history. And I will do a historical movie about Hathor later because it's very interesting. Lifetime. So um, all of this has been combined with an ascension, which I described in the Starlights, the Arna Hudson YouTube channel, Blue Matrix Energetics Info playlist, which has information about what that is and a lot of other important things, Blue Matrix Energy Science, which I have videos about what that is as well. If you look at Blue Matrix Energetics Info, this video is starting to become part of the comedy repertoire. Goodness. But anyway, uh, so I am someone who has a lot of experience, 20 years experience in energy healing work, working with people uh, in energy science for holistic well-being, as well as a business executive, which I mentioned in my bio. So what I would like to say is um, when you have such a broad background of experience in different areas, comes together very well for movie writing, for building stories, for creating characters, for uh, the times that we live in. I relate to many different kinds of people because I have a varied background: business, sales, marketing, communication, public speaking, you know, and acting and performing. So what I found was that it's not unlike the last lifetime, except it is in modern times. The movie acting and cameos will come a little bit later after the time of filming of this video from the movies that I've written. And what is important is the creation of the concepts in Blue Matrix Energetics are like no other anywhere on the planet, because I took myself out of all the training I've had in anything, sat down and said, what really happened to me? And where did I go? And what were the effects on this biology, on the mind, on everything? How do I even begin to explain this? And I thought about a challenge that I gave myself a long time ago as an energy healer. How do you explain what we do without sounding a flake, sounding like a flake? And so that has been a 20-year work for me to explain what it is, how it works, how phenomenon works. Because energy healing is phenomenon. When you see people whacked out or ill, they get up off of a table after you've just sort of worked in their energy field and they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. Same with doing a blue matrix energetics Merkaba. People have done one and healed things in their bodies. So that is explained how it happens in the energy science of the matrix energetics for even people in science and medicine to be able to understand. They have some inkling. They were studying the power of prayer. Medicine was. They want to understand this. Like, what is this? What is this consciousness? What is this spiritual belief? What is it really that humanity is looking for that science is not explaining? People love energy science of the matrix because it does. Very in depth with terms that they can understand, with biology, with neurology, with biochemistry terms, with things that I took the time to study, not having any kind of a medical background, and poured myself over books and looked at things that I knew from looking inward from my ascension of the biological matrix, what's happening, the put aside everybody else's teachings and just look again from a fresh mind to have my own description of what I know from hyperspace down, how we are wired neurologically into these bodies, what we can do in folding space time, how it is possible for Andromedan people to burrow through wormholes a whole spaceship and themselves, where they're compressing these big, huge blue Andromedan bodies to much smaller, you know, they're folding space time. They're disappearing and reappearing with the ship, and the whole body has to be able to withstand that, as I mentioned in another video on this as well. So, yes, you can find all those on my YouTube channel. So, anyway, we have the same capability. And I looked at this and said, no, I'm going to describe this. And then it's usable in my movies. And people will look and say, oh my God, you know? And it will be applicable to science if you want science, you know, study this as well one day and do some research. And that's a whole evolution, because it will force the whole systems to advance and to grow, probably more rapidly, even in terms of uh, traditional medical textbooks, physics, all kinds of things. There's little things, little bits of information that are there from my work to enjoy in sciences as well, which advances everything, medical equipment, everything, like we've said, whole society. Now, so government will have a challenge of protecting intellectual property better. All these advances that we have coming. And this is where we need to let go of the old mind. What can I do to control the situation, to have my audience to work like the Andromedan? And of course, I give people a chance to create a better reality. I want to give up old systems that are rudimentary, that they have evolved and advanced beyond. So that is what the purpose of our teachings are. And boy, is the DNA refined from the matrix energetics. You know, it seems like tightens up everything in the mind, prioritizes things like a computer, tosses out stuff that's superfluous, gives you new information that is categorized better and organized. It's like a supercomputer we become from the study of the matrix. And it is amazing what it does. Everything is like just meticulously organized. And, you know, we've gone out on days, like I've said in one of this guy's videos, and had our brain scrambled and come back. And if you sit down with your quantum mind tech tools and apply yourself, you know, within half an hour to an hour, you can quickly, the observer, reorganize everything and uh, put back missing pieces of information, which some of us have had to do arduously and have survived to talk about it. You know, it's a real feat. I'm telling you, there was one morning I woke up and there's nothing left of me except for my gums and the shell and my cerebellum and very little midbrain mass. Everything else was gone, gone. And I sat up and I said, oh my God, what is this? How am I going to survive this? You know, and it happened a few more times. And now they're protecting my brain again, because it's unreal how this is why I did another series of videos. Love yourself, study, advance your own mind. You have no idea how, if you give your power away to someone else and do not apply yourself and do it, this is where we have to stop wipes. We have to, yes, wipes. I want the people who are addicted to them, and we made fun of them before. Well, so and so knows that I screwed so and so or cheated on my wife or whoever the hell. I don't give a fuck. You don't take a person in the public and wipe information out, because guess what? It's in their light review, in their cerebellum, and those aren't going to be ripped out anytime soon, or you're going to have murder charges. Okay? And well, when they're regrown, guess what? They regrow the information that you tried to destroy or wipe out, because that is the nature of the being, that is mysterious being that I've described on that really racy page, Blue Birds of Paradise. You know, someone's trying to silence me as I'm speaking. He's grabbing back here in the cerebellum. all the other people who attacked me got in big trouble. Now, do you want to really take on a big god like me that has friends in the skies? It's going to be breathing down your neck so close. I don't think so. Don't do that. It's rude. Just visited them. Anyway, uh, so we have to protect our brains, our gifts that we're bringing to make this planet supreme, to really make something that we haven't seen since the ancient huge people built these huge mysterious temples and even spaceships. We had to travel across the planet to ship stuff. So, and there's old tablets in Mesopotamia of these that hover above a tree. We had these, rickety, but we had them. So it's a little late, but we can still do it. And we don't want to be wiped. And we're not going to cover up because I just got permission to use it and to talk about it because it was done too often and abused. And when you abuse something of the entities that was not meant to be abused because of a whim or a power trip, I'm so important I can wipe anybody, and if you know something about me, it's gone from your brain. You know what? You're not immortal. I am. I ascended, you did not. You have no power to wipe me because you are a peon that is a human plebeian that has a lot to learn and should show more respect towards people like me who want to wipe others. So you better remember that and apply yourself and study a little bit more people who threaten. And if you try to take my DNA, what you will do is disintegrate your own body and have my soul entrapped in it and be dying slowly because that's what it is. Then I'll take you over and go, yuck, 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 yuck. Oh my God, I'm in the wrong body. This has happened. Oh my God. Well, I guess I want to quit this job. And I want to leave my wife or my husband, or whoever it is, and walk out and fall on the street and say, I'm a fanatic. I'm living off somebody else's DNA. And I've taken so much of it that it's taken me over now, you see. And they don't realize this can happen. It's happened actually to people. So what they should do is sit and study and evolve their own DNA, jerk, instead of trying to wipe me, okay? So now I'll shut up about the wipe topic. Now you know who I am, right? So anyway, so it's really, really interesting, all of the evolution that's possible for the non-fanatics that don't want to wipe everybody's brain. I think all the comedians should go out there on the stage and make fun of this until they get the message, okay? If anybody's giving us a hard time. So anyway, we'll probably do a few more movies about it as well. I don't know, but Hollywood's a powerhouse because guess what? They are the program that people are consuming, not the corporate heads as much or the politicians or anybody. Because people line up to see movies, TV, not political speeches, and you guys know this. So when you support Hollywood, and you support funding for sovereignty of freedom of expression, we trust you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's freedom of expression, and your children watch it, and you watch it, and I am an author that is bringing educational content. So something that's going to be very good. It's freedom of expression. So people like people who support Hollywood because they're not intimidated by what's said. Remember that. Anyway, and anybody in Hollywood who wanted to wipe anybody, you got old very quickly and almost died, and learned not to do it. And there wasn't very many. And we won't mention any names, okay? But I'm fair. Remember that about me. Uh, so I'm not a doormat, not even in my own industry, and they know that about me from watching my videos. So when I get to Hollywood, I will be enthralled working with things that I offered and with very talented people. And I'm making sure right now that they're ethical and they don't do things that we discussed on the videos that aren't really supported by me or the Andromedan people anymore. Okay? So make sure everybody is clean in every industry that I touch or work in, please, because I'm an impeccable person. That's what I'm about. That pretty much wraps it up. Uh, I just, threats, I answer them with information because I'm a very, very kind, caring, gentle natured person. but I have strength that is huge, enormous. And I attract other beings who are strong, enormous. Ooh. And I earned it because I'm fully awake and open my brain. So when people come into my life, it's usually loyal. And if they have any other kind of agenda, I can see them for 1,000 miles. And by the time we meet, they're finished having anything to do, projects or anything to do with me. So I work with clean people, and that goes across the board for anything, not just my business or my writing. All right. So we understand each other that way, and you understand what it is that you're meeting. To be fair, of course, to everyone, including any leaders that I meet in the future. We'll see who's brave enough, because I'm very friendly and have been kind to them, but I'm not willing to die for any of them. I'm not a subordinate, and I definitely have a more awake brain than all of them, and many of them are studying a very advanced teaching that I sent them. So they are students of mine. And that's why I have the ships that up top them for great mind. And that is why it is unwise to betray me or to try to pretend I don't exist, because I do. I'm not any kind of a Jane Doe. All right? So I hope we understand each other, because that's how it's going to be, or it isn't going to work. Night.